seen the movie Taken, starring Liam Neeson. He's the father of a daughter who is trafficked. His solution is simple. He takes the law in his own hands, rescues her, and punishes her traffickers. Unfortunately, for most victims, they do not have someone coming to their rescue. No one is exempt from the threat of being trafficked. If you have a friend or a family member ever experienced this, then I'm sure you would want someone looking for you and using all means necessary to get you home safely. In the last decade, there have been tremendous strides in legislation regarding human trafficking, but it has proved very difficult to prosecute. It is necessary that as a country and a global community that we aid in the end of the modern-day slave trade. Today we will discuss what international law is currently in place, and then the complications that arise when trying to prosecute those guilty of the crimes against humanity. First, I'm going to explain the international initiatives that have already taken place. According to the topical Reader's Digest, Human Rights and Human Trafficking, retrieved November 24th, 2013, the most reputable and recent instruments of international law that have set the course to define, prevent, and prosecute human trafficking are the protocols, the United Nations Protocol to Prevent, Suppress, and Punish Trafficking in Persons, especially women and children, and the United Nations Protocol Against Smuggling of Migrants by Land, Sea, and Air, which entered into force in 2003 to 2004. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime created these conventions, which have supported international law's ability to combat human trafficking. In support of enforcing these instruments, the UNODC established the United Nations Global Initiative to fight human trafficking in 2007. According to current laws, most human traffickers, if convicted, are only sentenced for about 18 months. The maximum penalty is 14 years in most places. With the severity of the crime, one would think that there would be a more definitive punishment. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, retrieved November 24th, 2013, UNODC's main goal to strengthen the national criminal justice systems, which will result in more convictions globally. UNODC's work occurs in three interrelated and mutually reinforcing areas. One is research and awareness raising. Two is promotion of the protocols and capacity building, and three is strengthening of partnerships and coordination. In research and awareness raising, UNODC will publish the global report on trafficking in persons in December 2023 and biannually after that. Despite the difficulty of achieving their goals, they also have outlined these initiatives: to prevent and combat trafficking in persons and smuggling migrants, to protect and assist the victims of trafficking and smuggled migrants with full respect for their human rights, 3, to prosecute those who traffic persons and smuggle migrants of full justice and ensuring an effective criminal justice response, and 4, to promote cooperation amongst state parties and other stakeholders in order to meet these objectives. Based on this information, there are some things that international governments are doing to prevent human trafficking, but there are incredible difficulties in complying with those laws. Corruption in government and victims' hesitancy to identify traffickers out of fear are the main reasons traffickers are not brought to justice. According to the A21 campaign retrieved November 24th, 2013, only 1 in 100,000 Europeans involved in trafficking are ever convicted. All over the world, governments suffer from intense corruption. This is often played out through human trafficking. Greed and traffickers threatening to harm individuals or the people close to them are the motivators for those that are corrupt. Traffickers are masters of coercion, and they understand the need to be well connected. Anna Rodriguez with Florida's Social Work Department retrieved November 24, 2013, stated that many victims of trafficking refuse to identify or leave their trafficker's custody because they are afraid the trafficker will harm them or their loved ones. The threats of the use of witch doctors, superstitions, and murder are often tactics traffickers use to oppress ill-educated individuals in developing countries. Rodriguez also talks about need for education on the subject of human trafficking, as well as the need for government to rise up and defend human rights. Today we've discussed human trafficking law and the need to defend it. We can see that though there are significant victims of trafficking had fathers like Liam Neeson's character. We are constrained